Newsfirst Newsline with Faraz Shaukatali.
And a wonderful morning to you. It actually is a splendid morning. And this is Newsline, live as always from the Newsfirst studios in Dawson Street in Colombo. Newsfirst, of course, 22 years and still going strong. And this morning, on the day after the budget presentation by Mr. Mangala Samaravira, we have with us Mr. Hemanta Warnakulasuri, President of Council. Very good morning to you, Mr.
Very good morning, Faraz. Very good morning to you.
And this morning, whilst our boffins are analysing the budget, I thought we'd listen to one of the most effective and direct speeches perhaps ever made by the leader of our country, if not in the world. Listen to this.
අපි හොඳට බැනුම් අහනවා පෙට්‍රල් ප්‍රශ්නෙට. හොඳට බැනුම් අහනවා. මගේ කෑලි ගලවනවා. මට බයිනා හිතාගෙන ඉන්නවා මම තමයි මේ පෙට්‍රල් බෙදන්නේ කියලා මේ ෂෙඩ් වලට. මහ බැංකුවේ සිදු අක්‍රමිකතා සම්බන්ධයෙන් පත් කරලා තිබෙන ජනාධිපති කොමිෂන් සභාව මම පත් කිරීම පිළිබඳව ආණ්ඩුවේම ඉතා සුළු පිරිසක් මට විරුද්ධව දැන් ලෙස චෝදනා කරනවා. ඉතා සුළු පිරිසක් ඒ පිළිබඳව බරපතල වැරදි විග්‍රහයක් කරනවා මං ගැන. ඉතා සුළු පිරිසක් ආණ්ඩුවේ මට විරුද්ධව Facebook වෙබ්සයිට් කැම්පේන් සතියන්ත පුවත්පත්වල පිටු ගණන් ලියනේවා වෙනත් අය අල්ලගෙන සල්ලි වියදම් කරලා අද ක්‍රියාත්මක වෙනවා. ලංකාවෙන් පිට තියෙන මාධ්‍ය ආයතන අල්ලගෙන ඒවට සල්ලි දීලා වියදම් කරලා ආණ්ඩුවේම සමහර අය අද මට ගහනවා. ඇයි මේ? ඇයි මේ? මේ මහ බැංකුවේ සිද්ධියට ජනාධිපති කොමිසමක් පත් කිරීම. මම මේක සෝබිත හාමුදුරන්ගේ ಗುಣ සමරුව වෙලාවේ කියන්නේ. සෝබිත හාමුදුරන්ගේ ಗುಣ සමරුව වෙලාවේ කියන්නේ සෝබිත හාමුදුරුවද ජීවත් වෙලා හිටියානම් ජීවමානව වෙලා හිටියානම් සෝබිත හාමුදුරුවෝ මට උන්වහන්සේ මට උපහාරයක් තියෙනවා මම කරේ හරි දේ කියලා හිතන්. අපි මෙතෙන්ට ආවේ මොනවටද? අපි තිබුණු ආණ්ඩුව වෙනස් කළේ මොනවටද? අපේ අරමුණ කොමක්ද? අපි ආවේ සාක්කු පුරවා ගන්න. අපි ආවේ හොරගම් කරන්නද? මට ප්‍රසිද්ධිය කියන්න බැරි දේවල් බොහොම දේවල් තියෙනවා. මම දැන් මෙතන ඉඳගෙන ඉන්න ගමනුත් මම මේ ඇමතිතුමාලට මේ ඊයේ අද දවසේ මේ දවස්වල වෙන සිද්ධියක් ගැන කිව්වා. ඉතින් ඒක නිසා අපි ආවේ ඒ විදිහේ ආණ්ඩුවක් කරන්න නම් ඒ විදිහේ ආණ්ඩුවක් කරන්න ඕනේ. මිනිස්සුන්ට සේවය කරන්න නම් මිනිස්සුන්ට සේවය කරන්න ඕනේ. අපේ අරමුණ පවිත්‍ර චේතනාවෙන් නම් ඒ චේතනාව ඉෂ්ට කරගන්න වැඩ කරන්න ඕනේ. අපිට තවමත් කාලය තියෙනවා. තවමත් කාලය තියෙනවා. තවමත් කාලය තියෙනවා. අවුරුදු 3ක් කරපු හොඳ වැඩ කතා කරලා ජනතාවට කියන්න වගේම අවුරුදු 3ක් කරපු සමහර අයගේ වැරදි වැඩ නිවැරදි කරගෙන ආණ්ඩුවක් විදිහට ඉස්සරහට යන්න. විපක්ෂයෙන් මට ගහනේවට මට මුණ දෙන්න පුළුවන්. ආණ්ඩුවෙන් ගහන ඒවටත් මට මුණ දෙන්න පුළුවන්. ආණ්ඩුවේ කොටසක් ගහන අයට මම මේ කියන්නේ. නමුත් ආණ්ඩුවේ කොටසක් මට ගහනවා නම් සෝබිත ස්වාමීන් වහන්සේ බලාපොරොත්තු වෙච්ච අරමුණ ඉෂ්ට කිරීමට විරුද්ධවයි ඒ ගහිල්ල ගහන්නේ. මම ඒක බොහොම පැහැදිලිව කියන්න ඕනේ. මම ඒක පැහැදිලිව කියන්නේ.
What a wonderfully direct speech. No waffle. Nobody can pretend not to understand what this man, our president, is saying.
I think we should be proud that at least we have one politician in this country who wants, with his limited resources, to grapple corruption. When I said limited resources,
yes,
the limitations are only very few ministers or very few are not corrupt. So there is a direct reference.
Yes.
When he makes an allegation
Yeah.
against those people who are responsible for corruption. You know, for us, you, the Sunday Times and other media and the COPE committee, they brought in this bond scam, and you struggle with your media coverage, with a very intelligent investigative journalism to unearth this scam, which is, you know, even I did not understand.
I think it's fair to say that the media coverage helped to rattle the conscience of people,
Yeah.
especially the central bank, who started whistle blowing bit by bit.
No, we understand the great bank robbery in England. People come and rob the bank. But here, the manner in which this is done is a super idea. But only thing, it got caught. So therefore, but people did not understand how did this man make this money? Why did he do this? Now, with that, it was necessary for the president, because there was so much of pressure being mounted upon. And he had the guts, he had the backbone, he had the will to appoint a commission. Now this he did, he knew that if there is anything that could unravel, it would be against his own government, his own ministers, even perhaps against his own prime minister, and against the officials he appointed.
Well, he's very clear. The president is very clear. He says that action must be taken against all wrongdoers, whatever position they are holding.
No, this is something that we never heard those days. We know that in the government, in the past year, every government tried to shield their wrongdoers. When you are voted in, when you come to parliament, you have a license to rob, your license to kill,
and a license to erase all your wrongdoings from the past.
License to erase your wrongdoings, and also your absolute immunity. You can do anything. Now,
in some instances, Hemant, I'm sorry to cut in there, but in some instances, they have even changed the rules, the law, and the effect is one that retrospectively will clear certain people. I'm talking about the foreign exchange bill.
But that's precisely now. They brought in the foreign exchange bill to the former minister brought in the foreign exchange bill to safeguard himself. So this is
we could say that is one of the effects of that.
Effects of that. But I'm trying to say for us, now we have seen this, we have accepted this. This is a government of corrupt politicians, government by the corrupt politicians, government of the corrupt politicians. We as people who voted for this government suffers because there was no action. So this is the first time. I mean, we must really be grateful, thankful to our president. We are proud that he is our president, that he appointed this commission. And also, not only that, you could always appoint a commission, like all these commissions that were appointed, and it will be a sleeping tiger. No one knows what's happening, no one knows what are the allegations, and it goes on, and a report is submitted, and the report is shelved. That is what happened. Now, do you think there is any single commission that was the commissions, any commission, the recommendations were put into practice or put into effect? No. So therefore, I believe this the aggregation made by his own small section of the government is because they want to shield rogues, they want to shield corrupt politicians, they want to shield corrupt officials.
For hours on end, people have lost their input into the economy and has impinged on their quality time by having been forced to queue up at petrol sheds across the land. Now that's absolutely and utterly unacceptable. And it is not the president who, as he quite rightly said, pumps the fuel in. It is a complete and utter mismanagement. In India, the Minister of Transport, who was in charge of the railways, he actually resigned after a railway crash.
Now, our leader, Mr. Ranil Wickremesinghe, the Prime Minister of this country, always have been talking about the principles of the democratic principles of other governments. Now what happened 3 days ago? Mr. Preeti Patel, who is of Indian origin, who is the Secretary to International Affairs, had to resign. She did not resign because there was an allegation of corruption. No, she did not resign for any other. She resigned because she met the Prime Minister of Israel without disclosing that to the Prime Minister.
And Lakshman Kiryala had better take note. She resigned because while she was on holiday, she had some meetings, including with the Prime Minister of Israel and various officials. And one of the main things, one of the main charges against her by the British Prime Minister Theresa May was that she had those meetings without any officials from the ministry.
And also,
Lakshman Kiryala should take note when he had those meetings with those contractors in his office. He did so without the ministry secretary.
I mean, unfortunately, there is no culture of resignation. The entire government, even the culture of resignation. You remember how Mr. Fernando Pulle resigned, and there was a demonstration, and then he was taken back. So, how do you remember how Anuruddha Rattas resigned for a few months? Do you remember how Mr. Felix Dias resigned? So they are just political gimmicks. There is no culture. When you get appointed, when you get elected, you are immune from any other evil forces attacking you, any other decent forces attacking you, taking you to court and charging you. Now this must be, if the constitutional experts want to amend the constitution, please amend the constitution so that all these politicians can be brought to court, can be investigated, can be reported by the Supreme Court. Take the example of the Pakistan Supreme Court, where Pakistan's most powerful man, Nawaz Sharif, was asked to resign by the Pakistan Supreme Court.
And that is wonderful law for you. Yes. Wonderful democratic law.
Now that is what is necessary. So we don't have such laws. We don't have such law.
Do we have a culture? I know that we have the laws, the legal bits.
Yeah.
But do we have a culture of an establishment entrusted with upholding the law and implementing the law? Do we have a culture amongst those men and women who will have the wherewithal? Well, they have the wherewithal, but will they have the backbone to summon a minister, including the Prime Minister, to give evidence?
We don't have a culture. That is the greatest anomaly in this whole process. There are laws, there are procedures, but everybody is bound by the dictates of the politicians. Now, this is the one commission, the commissioners, and the team of officials from the Intelligence Department and the police officers, the CID, went on and ensured that that culture of summoning any person to expose this racket that cost us billions of rupees will be exposed. And that is what happened when there was the culture, when they established it, when the public knew it was not a sham, they sent in petitions, they sent in information. Now what happened, Faraz, you do not know. They are taking revenge not only from some officials. Now, especially do you remember how Mr. Ravi Karunanak went to Parliament and accused Jasanta Kodagoda, the second in command in that probe, and said they want a parliamentary select committee because he gave information. He told what he has received as instructions. Lawyers receive instructions and they try to weigh the instructions, and when they see whether it's true, and then it's exposed in court. And that is something between lawyer and court. The Parliamentary Select Committee or Ravi Karunanak or anyone else has no business to inquire into that. Now that is a warning, and I'm sure Jasanta Kodagod, all the learned commissioners, all the Apollo will never be frightened of such veiled threats. And I'm also telling you, I'm telling you this public, I mean no one knows, Dappula Rivera's wife, Mrs. Marilyn Rivera, who is also, I believe she is the chairman of the Child Protection Bureau, is being harassed by this government, by these officials, and even the minister is being harassed for having appointed her.
Now, those are very serious claims, and we are going to have to ask you about them, but we'll do that after this break. Don't go away. Stay tuned. This is Newsline. Welcome back to this wonderful morning. And Newsline absolutely loves Peggy, because Peggy says here, I think the bandits will get away on a legal technicality due to the current extension, the short extension of the bond commission. Is that what will happen? And there are several other questions. One says, I think this is directed to you, will the Attorney General's Counsel cross-examine the Prime Minister?
If the Prime Minister, I believe, he has said openly that he will definitely go before the Commission and answer questions and answer the interrogatories, and all that have been done, and the Council appearing for the Attorney General has sought permission and has told the commissioners that they want to question the Prime Minister. I believe if the Prime Minister comes, if he comes, I do not know, if he comes, whether definitely the team will question him.
Well, for all those interested, even remotely interested in the law, if the Prime Minister does make an appearance at the Commission of Inquiry, and if Dapula de Oliveira has been given the task of cross-examining him, the Prime Minister, then believe you me, you must go there to watch the proceedings, because you will get wonderful value for your tax rupees, because that man's absolutely brilliant at what he does. And there's another one. He says, Mr. Manakalusuri, we had the culture and the will, but we have killed it. The issue is responsibility and accountability. So there you go. All these people are, there's another one. Please ask Mr. Manakalusuri about this whether this totally violates and deviates from government procedures. For example, Lakshman Kiriyala's hand in the expressway issue.
Yeah. Now, my position is about our culture. I think last time, important person who resigned from the government is Dandi Sennaika after the famous Hartal shooting incident. After that, I can only think of Gamini Jayasuri, another honorable great man who resigned because he did not want to vote for the 13th Amendment. So where is the culture? The culture is we feign resignation. Then we go to the Radha Mandikawa, and the Buddhist priests tell them, no, do not resign, go back and access the portfolio, and the Prime Minister calls him or President calls him and appoints him. That is what happened under the Ratvatte. So similarly, I mean, our people is so corrupt. I mean, the only way, the only pedestal, if you think why millions are being spent for you to get elected, it is because billions can be earned. So therefore, now look at the petrol crisis. It's a shame that a person whom I loved as a cricketer, person whom I thought was a one of the great human beings, Arjun Ranatunga, should have immediately resigned. You know, whatever explanation he gives cannot be accepted. The petrol crisis, it's very clear.
But I think more to the point. I see your point, what you say about the buck stopping there. Yeah. But what about the chairman? The chairman of the CPC.
The chairman is his own brother.
Yeah, well, that's fine. But
yeah, chairman and the minister. I think the minister must resign with the chairman. If the minister resigns, chairman will be sacked.
Well, I think that the chairman should go.
No, I don't think so, because minister appoints the chairman. Chairman, I mean, the responsible of this crisis, where thousands of people are standing queues, and then the government is the election year.
Yes,
but the people are so angry with the government, they go on saying various things against the government. Most foulest thing you can hear, not on the internet, not on the website, but on the petrol queue. Now, who is responsible for this? Why aren't they using Muthurajavila? Why aren't they stocking petrol for 2 months? Why aren't they calling? Why did they give up the tender procedure?
Because, well, yes. You see, all these scams, the bond, the Central Expressway, the Outer Circular Highway, all of this is down to one thing. And until we're blue and green in our face, we'll keep saying it. it is because of a departure from procedure and
Absolutely
established
true.
process.
The established procedure is deviated on this basis. Now, whenever there was a shortage of drugs, artificial shortage of drugs created by the ministry, then you go on buying drugs at various exorbitant prices because people can't supply drugs in time. Similarly, if you have a spot buying of petrol, if that was the reason is you cannot buy petrol short notice or oil at short notice. Then you have to give huge sums. Commissions are paid. So these must be investigated. I appeal to His Excellency the President, whom that one speech has changed the entire country. I appeal to him. Appoint another important commission there are so many retired Supreme Court judges. Let them come forward and inquire into the petrol scam and also the highway scam.
Well, that's true. But also a viewer is saying that there is a Suresh involved in this whole sorry state, and they're questioning as to who this Suresh is and what his position and authority is. You probably know, or you don't know.
I don't know.
You don't know. Okay, well, we don't know. But somebody's saying that the TRC blocked a website yesterday.
Yeah, I believe that is. I believe that is the best thing that this government did. You cannot, no media person can attack the character of a person by publishing all absolutely false current articles from abroad. I was telling about this Lanka news. I have already filed 14 cases. I'm going to file another 3 cases against it. Now these are cases in which judges are involved. The whole administration justice is involved, and absolute every single item that appeared in that, I think, absolutely false. And then this man, a coward who runs away, a fugitive from justice, who has applied for become a refugee in UK, is hiding under that wall and is attacking. And who is using them? People who advertise in their papers. Who are the person? Ravi Karunanayake, one of the main persons who advertised.
He didn't advertise.
Not here. No, by lottery board.
Oh, well, you mean an institution that was listed
under him?
You must be very specific.
Yeah, very.
I'm surprised at you.
Yeah. I said that there were advertisements in the news, lotteries board, and we questioned them, and everybody, no one was going to answer that. So therefore, obviously, he and the UMP used that website to attack all the enemies. Can you remember the attack that went on when there was a battle for the leadership of the UMP? How they attacked Sajid Premandas and his mother and various other people. So therefore, I believe no one should be permitted. If you are permitted, then you must come forward and register yourself and say that I'm here. You can sue me. I have deposited so much money, and if I'm
well, they should be able to come under, be prepared to be registered in this.
Yeah, that is the process of getting the website registered is on. I believe everyone. And I have no problem. There are certain, I must say, there are certain websites like Colombo Telegraph, very critical of the government. But they are not only critical of one person; they are critical of the entire government. They stand solely against corruption, and I'm 100% for them. But then you cannot hide and shield various people who are absolutely corrupt. Nothing is said about the bond scam, nothing about Arjun Mahendran, and they all go and attack Daplo Oliveira and
Well, that's right. And that's the sad part of this government.
Yeah. Not the government, the sad part of me where we became impotent. We cannot do anything because they are uploading this from another country.
From outside of the scope.
Outside the shores of the country.
And outside the scope of the laws of this country.
No, it's not outside the scope of the law.
You can't if you can't.
No, you can under the Computer Crimes Act you can.
Yes,
but the problem
they're not
is
here.
Yeah, the problem is the government also must take initiative, investigate and fight some cases. They are not doing that.
But now I want to just touch very briefly. We got a couple of minutes here about this budget. Do you know this government is a bit funny. It is rather funny because they talk about entrepreneurship and about trying to uphold entrepreneurship. Well, it's a fine how do you do that is, because for example, CITEM, forget all the other issues, but that was entrepreneurship. Somebody set it up, and now it's going to be closed down. Then you have looking at the headline here, cellular tower levy, 200,000 rupees per tower per month. This is continuing to impinge on business.
Absolutely.
Right? Then there's a tax on SMSs, right? And then they whack the poor man. Carbon tax on motorcycles, 17 cents. On cars, 178, and on buses, 274. All of these things impacts on the common man.
Yeah.
We note with some humor that a special tax on super luxury vehicles with an engine capacity exceeding 2,500 cc will be imposed. Is that because all their children, wives, girlfriends, boyfriends have all received their cars, and now that there are all of them are satisfied, they're going to impose a tax? The import taxes on an electric car has come down by at least $1 million. They should have it duty free.
I believe a minister of finance should understand why the economy is so sluggish, why the economy, people are complaining. They have to, they must send some officials to Peta, Main Street,
Yeah.
and to some hotels, and to other businesses. Everyone is complaining that there is no business. Sometimes the hotels are closed, or some rooms are closed because there are no tourists, and there are no people. And the reason is, and then the transport is almost at the lowest level because they might not be able to pump fuel for their cars. Now, this is the reason. You must understand why there is so much of sluggishness in the business field.
Indeed. Now, back to this other business of good governance. Finally, after 2.5 years and over 35 visits to the FCRD, Gamini Senrat has appeared in court.
Yeah.
That is good news for governance, isn't it?
I don't know, because he has appeared in court, he has visited 35 times. The case that they are filing,
yes.
I do not know whether it has any bearing on corruption. I know some. I had not gone through this,
we know
but
that,
the fact remains that the government is slow. The investigations are slow, but there are so many other aspects of this corruption of the previous regime which had not been touched by.
And there is this little matter thing in the Daily Mirror here and other papers. It says UNP backbenchers to ask the president who criticised him.
Yeah.
I think it's none of their business.
Yeah.
He should. Why should they? Who are they to question the president?
I mean, the criticism came not only from them. The criticism came from their arm. They officially claim that Lanka News is a part of the UNP. And they, if you read the Lanka News, you know who supplies the information, why are they criticizing, why are they focused on the president, why are they focused on the president's family, why are they not focused on Ravi Karunanak, why are they not focused on Ranil Wickremesinghe, why are they not focused on bond scam, why are they attacking Dappula Rivera? They are only not attacking the commissioner.
I'm going to have to end with this question from the lovely Peggy. If these rogues get away on a legal technicality, can the trade unions concerned sue them on behalf of its members? She's talking about the bond scam, the EPF.
I believe not only trade union, the public, EPF, ETF holders can get together and sue them. I don't think they can get away. I believe if the machinery, I believe the Intelligence Department and the courts are there to safeguard our interest.
Wonderful. Do you know, I'm very sad because the half an hour is up and the program's over. There you go. That's the way the cookie crumbles. Hemantavana Kulasuri, thank you very much. On November the 10th, 2017, Friday. That's the way it was on Newsline. Take care. God bless.
News First, Newsline with Faraz Shaukat Ali.